On this episode, we review our recent trip with a half day at Typhoon Lagoon, a stay at Coronado, and dinner at Three Bridges, checking out Dreams That Soar, mini golf, and lunch at Skyline Chili. Today's May 31st, 2024. This is episode 672 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. You can also find us on TikTok at MSM Podcast. And if you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. And if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. If you're planning that trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World, you did not get the advanced dining reservations that you were so hoping for. Don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant's date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. And finally, you can stay longer and save more at Walt Disney World by saving up to 30% on stays of 5 nights or longer on most stays from now through July 7th, 2024. Go ahead to mainstmagictravel.com and fill out a form for a free quote. All right, so before we get into today's episode and review, we're going to do two things. One is we actually had a listener email us.
Okay.
And I think he was listening to the question and answer shows and didn't get a question in. So he had one, and I didn't want to forget about this, so we're going to go over it now.
Okay.
And this email came from Tom. He said, Rhonda, that's you.
Oh, that is me.
On an upcoming Q&A, can you deep dive into your motion sickness patch? And we're going to do it right now.
Okay.
I can do fast and straight rides, but anything with simulation or spinning, such as Remy, Guardian, Star Tours, give me terrible motion sickness. What was your issue, and has the patch resolved it? Do you have side effects? Does it require prescription? How does it work? So we've talked about this here and there on past episodes, but It's nothing committed to it. It's usually like it just comes up in conversation. So we'll chat about it real quick to give Tom some information.
Okay.
What was your experience with motion sickness prior, I would say, to you getting the scopolamine? Is that how you say it?
Scopolamine patch.
Scopolamine patch.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide to get it? How do you get it? And how are you now?
Well, it's actually kind of a godsend, I guess. I've kind of always had a little bit of motion stuff, maybe especially when I got older, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we would go out on a boat with friends and they would take Bonine and stuff, and I would take that, and I mean it ended up going over through planes and boats, and so we were getting ready to go, I believe, on our cruise with Jeremy's client. And I knew I needed to get some motion sickness medicine, and I was going to have Jeremy do it. I actually do a doctor friend of mine who is a very, very good friend, and she was doing her hair, and she was sitting there, and I'm just, rattling off normal things that we talk about and how we are going on the cruise. And I said, Jeremy's got to pick me up some Dramamine. And she said, well, have you ever tried the scopolamine patch? So she starts telling me about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it lasts 3 days. You put it on. You don't have to take anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'll have Jeremy pick that up. Well, she kind of laughed and she said it's prescription. And I'm like, what? So next thing I know, she's asking me my birth date and everything and called me in as prescription. So we went to go pick it up, and I said, listen, if it's expensive, I'm not doing this. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to let it go. It was free back then with, I guess, insurance, whatever. So I took it on the cruise. I took a Bonine before I got on the cruise, which I normally do when we went out on Danny's boat for the Keys. And I'm talking miles off shore. So that night on the cruise, we were just at dinner. So we just taken off. Few hours, we were into the ocean, not too much. And I did not feel good. and I went and put my patch on, and from then on, I fell in love because I didn't have to take medicine.
Mm-hmm.
This did not make me feel like any over-the-counter medicine has ever made me feel, where drowsy Dramamine will just make you feel like you're totally out of it, in my opinion. Non-drowsy Dramamine usually does two effects on me, where it'll almost knock me out, or I feel like I'm like on steroids and I'm shaking and I'm like, oh my God. So this patch, it did give me, back when I was drinking red wine, really bad dry mouth. So I drink tons and tons of water. Once I kind of stopped doing that, I didn't notice the dry mouth hardly ever, because I do drink already a lot of water. But I will tell you, my major side effect is my blurry vision.
Mm-hmm.
I already have some blurry vision, and it just gets worse with wearing it. But it is such a side effect I am totally willing to deal with, because all I need is readers.
So then, using it now, how was it prior? Because you weren't using this prior to Disney World until what?
Actually, until I started
opened?
I started going, and
Universal is what it was.
It was Universal.
So you started using it on a regular basis, because before you had it and you were using it for boat rides, cruises. You started using it on flights.
Mm-hmm.
I know when you were going out to Vegas to see your friend. But you started using it, would have been June of 2020 on a regular basis at the theme parks.
Yes.
So,
and it started with Universal because they are all simulation spinning kind of, I feel like, rides.
Are there any rides at Universal that you have issue with when wearing it?
No, none.
So you're all good at Universal.
Yeah.
How about Disney with the breakdown? Because I know, for example, let's talk Cosmic versus Ratatouille. You wear it on both of those rides, because if you're going to wear it, you're going to wear it for the weekend.
But if I'm not,
you need it on Ratatouille
to open my eyes.
You can, right? But you can get by on Cosmic.
I can.
Like, are there any? So I guess as far as it's concerned to Disney, are there any rides that bothered you prior to using the patch, and does anything bother you now? So obviously Ratatouille. Did you ever have issues on things like Star Tours?
Sometimes, but I would.
You could just you would just close your eyes or something,
or I'd look around or something. Yeah. I think it's more or less the screens.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in Guardians, I'm not really watching the screens.
Yeah.
When we do the pre-show, if I don't have my patch on, I never look up.
Okay.
I always close my eyes and never look up. And then when we go into with the rest and seeing, all the Guardians, I can watch all that. It's because I think it's a different screen, maybe.
Yeah, well, the other one has that double layered screen. The first pre-show has that double layered screen.
That's what it is.
So it doesn't give it exactly a 3D effect.
That's what it is.
But it certainly gives something that messes with depth perception.
Because then that's what it is.
Yeah. So, something like Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, you don't need a patch for those individually, but if you were to ride them back to back within a short period, you need a patch, correct? Okay.
I would want one and just hope and pray that if I did it like that, I would be okay.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times we've gone on Tower of Terror and I'm like, okay, I got to give me an hour or so. The other one right now. So, and I'll just,
Okay, so Tom, the patch has resolved your issues. We'll explain what your issue was. It has resolved it. Side effects potentially
just blurry vision for me.
Maybe dry mouth. Could be another one. I'm sure they're all listed on there. It's going to involve diarrhea. I can tell you that much because
I hope not. I don't ever have.
No, but
diarrhea.
I'm saying every last prescription thing says there's potential for you to have diarrhea, and sometimes you have to think which is worse, the issue I'm having
vision
or diarrhea. Is just what I'm thinking. Like if it's like, if it's between me going out and being a little bit more jolly, because I need some sort of prescription, but it might cause me to have explosive bowels, then part of me is like, well, maybe I don't need to be that jolly, because am I going to be having that good of a time if I'm in the bathroom the whole time anyway? So just, and then, the prescription. So I would say your options are either become a hairstylist and then have a doctor as a client is first way to get it. Second, I'd just go see your primary care physician or probably even call them. I can't imagine this is one. What are they going to do? Come in and then start waving their hands in front of you frantically and be like, do you feel sick? Yes. Here's your prescription. You know what I mean? And so I can't imagine they need to see you.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I was trying to get at.
I think all you could do is tell a doctor, I'm going on a cruise, and they're just going to write you one, period. I mean, the amount of people I saw them on, the amount of people I see them on at Disney, to be honest with you.
Oh, man, on the cruise. Because Ron even just put one on me for the recent Disney Magic cruise.
Well, yeah, because we learned my
safe,
family doesn't have sea legs.
No. But just to be safe as well. And I noticed so many people that had them on.
And you were fine the whole time.
I was fine the whole time. Question I forgot to ask you, and this has really nothing to do with this, but it does. So there's print on the outside of it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Does that print wear off? I think the print either wears off, telling you that it's time to replace it, or people are like you and me, where you just constantly reach back there to feel it, and the oils in your finger rub it off.
Yeah.
And I know somebody knows the answer, and I know that I can Google it, and I most likely will after this. I love when I have questions to things because I get lots of messages.
Oh.
And I usually Google it right after, but in the case of it, I'm not going to stop the show to find the answer. But my guess is that there is something in the patch where that that print goes away,
maybe
telling you need to replace it.
But you are supposed to, according to, oh my gosh, this is hysterical, but according to a doctor, when they go over it with you, basically, it is, from what I understand, from, the day one you put it on to day 3. So basically you put it on, Thursday morning at, 5 a.m. It's Friday morning,
3
Saturday
days,
morning, Sunday morning, 5 a.m. You need to take it off. I died when we talked with our friends recently.
I'm not really dead. It was like the start of the Flynn Rider story.
My girlfriend also has very terrible motion sickness, and she's going on a cruise, a 7-day, and she takes and puts on a patch every single day.
That was cracking
every morning. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean,
not on top of each other, people.
But still,
takes it off.
She takes it off, takes all the sticky off, and then puts it right back on. And I'm like, I mean, it's wasteful because it's supposed to last 3 days. It's got medicine in it. And then part of me thinks,
well, and again, I'm not a doctor, but my assumption would be that the 3 days is a slow absorption. You know what I mean? My guess is that you're supposed to absorb it over 3 days.
Yeah.
So putting on a fresh one every day, you're getting that initial hit. Now just more than you should.
But I will say, I think she is. It's funny. I mean, she was making me laugh by saying, like, just sitting there, if she moves too much, she can get motion sickness. So apparently she has extreme. So
I mean, you have issues in the back of cars.
Yes, I do.
Kaylin does. Like, Kaylin can't look at her phone or look at text or anything while she's in a car.
Correct.
You cannot sit in the back of the car a lot of times.
Even sitting in the front when you're driving. I prefer to drive.
What are you trying to say? No, there is really a big difference though, but it obviously could help in those scenarios as well. So we're just sharing that for Tom, like whatever level you're on of your motion sickness, because obviously it's going to be very different. I mean, the older I get, I can feel very slight things sometimes. They go away like that. I'm good. But even that is something I didn't feel 5 and 10 years ago. So next, we are going to have an episode review, but something I wanted to start doing weekly. So please, I would love to hear everyone's thoughts and things that they would like to show up. You can hit me up on social at MainSTMagic. You can email magic@mainstmagic.com. We're going to start doing a weekly poll in the Facebook community.
Okay.
So go to search for Main Street Magic and join that group, and just a weekly poll that'll be fun. And this week's poll, the first one, was, what do you look for most when selecting your Disney resort?
Price.
What do you look for? Price?
Price.
That's what I voted.
Yep.
Now for us, and this is where I think answers are so neat and varying, for us, price is major because we go so often.
Correct.
If it was not, if we
Location.
went once a year, location would be your number one. Okay. So we had out of the poll in our community, price was 53%. So it was number one.
Okay.
Number two was location at 28%. Coming in at number three at 10% was transportation options, which is really good. I mean, think about being on the Skyliner or if you like the monorail, like that's going to make a big difference.
That's true.
Next, number five, the fourth one was theming. That was only 5%. Amenities such as the pool, activities that they offer was 3%. This was very surprising to me, but I guess it shouldn't be because of how good transportation is. And only 1% was dining options at the specific resort.
And that's what I think when we were talking about Coronado and having all that, because depending on where you're staying, like if you're at Pop Century, you don't have a ton of dining. We said hop on the Skyline or go over to Riviera.
Yeah.
Go over to Epcot.
Yeah. So dining isn't specific to that resort. And now I would venture to say though, if you're looking at an old Key West, right? Like your dining is what's there. So you better like it because it's going to take moving heaven and earth to get to another location.
Or have vacation grocery delivery, drop off food, depending on what room you're in.
Yeah. Yep. If you got a 1-bedroom or up and you've got a kitchen, vacation grocery delivery, FL.com, get groceries delivered and just cook right there. Well done. All right. You ready to talk about the trip? Our quick 30-hour trip, which started heading down to Typhoon Lagoon.
Started our summer out. Yep. So Lacey and the girls, it's just so fun. I think what's going to be neat is one day when we're old to go back and listen on this because we do talk about the girls. But Lacey and Kaylin are just the way they are.
They're
and
teenage girls.
And they don't want to spend time together per se. They want to spend time with other people.
They're friends.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, like,
they don't want to spend time with us. They don't want to spend time with each other. Yeah, they don't want to be in family mode. Which again, can you blame them?
Right. When we started the girls' summer out, this one it decided to be Kaylin, and we were starting it out with her and Talon, and we were going to Typhoon and headed down for this weekend. The next one will be with Lacey, and it will be July 4th. So that will come to you. But yeah, so we headed down that morning. And if you want to go back to episode way back to 438, 442, 466, and 571, we talk about Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah, and if you go to 438, that's the one that'd be the one to listen to.
Perfect.
For every little detail. We talk about towel rentals. Like if you're staying on property, they will give you towels or you can bring your own. Otherwise, they're like $2. We talk about locker rentals. We cover all of the possibilities with renting an umbrella, beachcomber shacks. So 438 will be like the full episode really dedicated to Typhoon Lagoon. So that would be the one that I would start at if you want a little more info.
Cool. Thanks. Well, with that being said, and talking about umbrella rentals, we headed down as early as we could to hope to get there before everything opens and get maybe an umbrella, like renting one if they still had some. All were sold out online, correct?
Yeah, so we had thought about, so we've talked about this before. They have these umbrella rentals and they run from like $49 to $99, depending on how busy it is. The Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, ding, 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 they're going to be busy. It's going to be $99, right? So you can rent these online actually through My Disney Experience or a website. You don't have to call for them. You can search for the Typhoon Lagoon umbrellas. It'll let you pick a date. You select one umbrella for up to 4 people. So it's not like you have to select 4. You know what I mean?
Right.
One umbrella will house 4 people. And it's going to give you an umbrella. It's going to give you 2 chairs and 2 layouty chair thingy. What would you call those?
Loungers?
Yeah. But they're hard to lounge in because the backs don't adjust. So they're pretty much just flat with just an awkward of enough incline to make laying on your stomach uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So,
if they're the same ones, I can't remember if we get...
they might actually be the upgraded ones.
They might be. Anyways.
So you can get those. So about a month ago, I was like, we should probably go ahead and do that just to be safe. And I looked and they were available and I was like, nah. So then like a week ahead, I was like, well, let me look again and I'll get one. We had a Disney gift card like left over from a trip or something. And I was like, I got $100 on this card. it's kind of free at this point, right? 'Cause that's how money works. And so I looked it up and they're sold out.
Yep.
So I remember from a past trip that they do reserve a handful for day of, possibly. There's not a guarantee on that.
And people might cancel.
And people could cancel. So I went to walk up. You get in at 9 a.m. They will open the turnstiles to scan in, and you will start to gather in certain areas, which is kind of your rope drop. And then at 9:30, they will open where that umbrella and beachcomber rentals are. So I would get in line for that as soon as you can. I was about fourth in line, and they had a cast member start walking through, say, who has already rented a beachcomber shack or an umbrella online, and, come with me. If not, wait. And I just said, are there umbrellas available? He said, no, there are 5 beachcomber shacks, but only one or no umbrellas. I was like, okay. So I got out of line. What was funny is, depending on where you were in line, he says, we have 5 beachcomber shacks. And the 5th person in line is like, sweet, I made it. And then the first person in line and said, great, we need 3. And so I was like, oh, that's going to sting when it gets to that 4th and 5th person who thought they were going to get one, right? And then think about that. Remember the cost of those suckers. They were all the ones that
obviously.
had the custom-made long sleeve UV protected shirts with logos and stuff.
I'm thinking they sent one.
No, you saw that whole group there, right?
Right.
Yeah. There were at least 4 or 5 of them in line. And then during the course of the day, I saw another dozen or so running around the park. So it was like probably a family reunion or something. But then they had like logos. So I'm guessing it was one of their own companies they put on the back.
Maybe.
Because if they found a company to sponsor their family reunion, then we're doing life wrong.
Oh, okay. It's starting to say.
But Typhoon Lagoon actually opened in June of 1989, 35 years ago.
Wow.
That's insane. It's been open that long.
We's 10 years
It
old.
was the second open to River Country, actually. So that was the second water park.
This year it snowed too, by the way. Go ahead.
The story, oh yeah, sure was. The story is that a typhoon wreaked havoc upon a formerly pristine tropical paradise. And then you've got Mount Mayday with that Typhoon Tilly boat impaled on top, which erupts a 50-foot geyser of water every half hour. Oh. Now, every 90 seconds, you get to hear everybody scream at the top of their lungs because the Typhoon Lagoon surf pool puts out a 6-foot high wave.
Wow.
And it is no joke.
No, it's honestly kind of scary because I would be honest, this is the one we've talked about before. It's probably especially on 438 where you be careful.
Be very careful in this.
I mean, people have gotten hurt. Like, and I say hurt, I'm not kidding, like scraped and bleeding.
Yeah. Don't wear hats in it. I'd watch any kind of glasses or sunglasses. If you're gonna get hit by the wave, basically, if the wave is going to hit you from waist up, because the
Yeah.
thing is coming at you hard, it's going to splash or take you under. I was saying to Kaylin, I'm not sure how people aren't just walking out of there like with bloody lips left and right, and how heads aren't just slamming into other heads, unless it's just taking everyone at the same time. But
I think so.
Since we went in back in March and helped Rhonda's parents move into their new cabin, and I don't know why you're laughing, and I was getting up and out of her dad's pickup truck out of the back, and I was just going, I'm tall enough, I'm 6'2", that I was stepping into the back of straight on the tailgate, right? I didn't have like a step or a ladder or anything like you need. And just that up and down, I was always leading with my left leg. My knee's just not been the same since. Like, it's just tweaked enough where, like, if I sit for a long time, it just takes me a minute. Man, these waves, I was trying to fight them, and it was not good. Like,
well,
and I do say this.
I think you need to go to the doctor.
I'm not saying it to make you laugh, even though it does. I'm saying it for people that might have any sort of issue. If you've had like a knee surgery or a hip surgery, or you tore an ACL at one point, if you've had any surgery from your chest down, I mean, this thing hits hard and it's a blast. You can body surf on it.
Yeah.
You can like
Talon loved it.
Yeah. You watch all the people jump into the wave as it's coming or go under.
Oh, I do. I go under.
It's so much fun, but be careful. And even if you're sitting, you think, oh, I'm back on the little part where just a little bit of the wave's going to come up, like you're almost on the edge of the ocean in the sand.
Oh, that's right.
And you're like, oh, and I'm leaning against a wall. It can hit you hard enough. It will move your body. It tumbled me. Like I was sitting in 2 inches of water, which quickly became 8 inches and drugged me. But some people think it's okay, and there's walls behind them, and it'll slam you into that sucker. So Rhonda just sits back and laughs at everyone. Apparently, they also have a the wave pool is also one of the oldest surfable wave pools in America.
Yes, we know that people do surf it.
Yes, you can surf there in the morning.
Yep.
Did you know that Typhoon Lagoon, I think it closed down in 2016, also used to have a swimmable shark reef?
Yeah, I think a client was trying to tell me something about that, and then I don't know. I just sometimes don't listen.
So there was had tropical fish, stingrays, and small species of sharks, and you could actually pay to snorkel above it. It's now been filled in, and Hammerhead Fred's, and then the area that we sat with Lucy and Caleb that time in the back. That's where it was. That's all been filled in. And then they turned the Hammerhead Fred's is now like a quick service or snack cart. But yeah, they filled it all in. Nobody was eaten by a shark or anything. But from my understanding, it just the cost, it wasn't cost effective. You had to pay to keep the water at certain temperatures. You had to have animal caregivers because fish are animals, as Rhonda knows now.
Fish are friends.
Fish are friends. You had to pay the lifeguards. So all of that stuff, I guess, wasn't worth it. So they closed it down. They filled it in, and then they converted a few of the things. So
let's get some fish.
Little Typhoon Lagoon trivia for you. They also have a 2,100-foot lazy river, which does not sound that big because it really isn't. It's not even a half mile long.
Oh.
But it feels longer than that. And what I love is that there's, I believe, 5 entrance/exits. So you can get out as you please. There's even one by the ice cream place. So you could get out, you could get ice cream, eat your ice cream, because you can't take it in the river, and then get right back in the river.
Okay. Why do you look like you're going to laugh?
Because you are making me laugh. All right, let's move on to tickets. So a standard, we're going to go through a few things here because a standard 1-day water park ticket, 10 plus is $74. This will give you access to either Typhoon or Blizzard, whichever one is open. And then $68, ages 3 through 9. Now you can save a little bit of money, $10 per ticket, by going with a water park ticket with blockout dates. That's not going to do you any good anytime soon because those blockout dates are May 25th to September 29th in 2024, and then May 24th to September 28th in 2025. Touch on that in a minute. If you are an annual pass holder, you are able to purchase additional water park tickets in addition to yourself for $49.
Yes.
So if I am just an annual pass holder
daily.
So if I'm an annual pass holder, I can get myself and 3 other non-annual pass holders tickets for $49 each.
Yep.
As a water park add-on, which we are, I can then just purchase for up to 4 other people.
Yep.
So $49 a day, every single day if you want.
Yep.
So if you
That's
are
awesome.
a local and you have an annual pass, it's time for you to make some friends. All right. Coming in 2025, with your Walt Disney World Resort reservation, on your day of check-in, you will get free access to a Disney water park.
Yay!
And Kaylin raised a very good question. She said,
yes, she did.
Are they finally going to reopen both of them at once? I thought that is a great question. And I wonder if they will.
I think it's going to just depend
On
on demand and how many people.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're literally having to turn people away, I don't know what they were doing on Monday, but not Monday when we were there. I just think of the holiday, but when we were there on Friday. Saturday, sorry. See, I don't know what day it is. Welcome to summer. I heard at one point the quote unquote captain came on and was like,
first time we have ever heard this. And we've been to Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard a lot of times.
Yeah,
many times.
Said that there's one person for every chair.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's
wait,
where they were.
That's
where they were at.
Is that every chair, like the little tiny ones? Because
I think so.
I mean,
from what I was reading, I think it was between 7,200 and 7,500 people is the capacity of Typhoon Lagoon.
Well,
and they were there. Yeah, they were there. But it was the first time that they basically came on and said, listen, as many people that are in the park are in as many chairs that there are right now. So please do not hold chairs that you are not using for somebody in your party. And not that they were saying, don't hold a chair while you go do water slides or something. They were saying, if you got 4, don't
only
hold
take
6.
4. Right. Because there are those little chairs that I really like. Instead of, because you have to lay on the lounger on your front or on your back. You can't like sit up.
Right.
But you can sit up in the little chair. So I want 2. That's why I was asking Jeremy, like, is it unfortunately, well, I was like, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, is it loungers they're talking about, or is it the tiny chairs?
I think it's everything
that people were pulling up and putting like on the sand, quote unquote, part that is the water in the water. And it just, it was very busy. So if people are going to take advantage, which I totally would suggest you make your plans around, if you're flying, fly in early and you can check in at the resort, get your stuff held if the room's not ready, and just get on a bus and go over to the water park all day.
And if you need to pack a little side bag or something in like your carry-on to bring with you, there are plenty of changing rooms.
Yeah.
You know, at Typhoon Lagoon, there's plenty of places to change at the resort if you need to. Like I would fit this in because it's a great way to start off your vacation. It's the way that we would start off many of them when the girls were still coming.
Yep.
Is we would drive down.
But now we can.
Get there. Yeah. Oh, we'd drive down. We'd get there at 10 a.m., for the water park opening. We'd stay till about noon or 1. Yeah. And then we'd head to our resort. 9 times out of 10, our resort room was ready. And then we'd go enjoy the rest of our vacation. We'd not even go back to the water park, during that trip. So I'd recommend trying to get in. I'll be interested to see if they open both water parks during just, say, summertime or between get Memorial and Labor Day. They just go, all right, both water parks will be open during this time. I'm also interested to see if any more details come out that could potentially block out any of this day of check-in stuff. You know what I mean?
Like
could they say, yes, it's available on your day of check-in from 2025 vacations, asterisk, except between Memorial Day and Labor Day. You know what I mean? Just we'll learn more as they tell more about it. And then this will be really neat. If you weren't thinking of a split stay, this might be a time to think of a split stay. Like if you're there for a week, you could show up on, let's say you're there Saturday to Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You check in on Saturday, you get there early enough, and you go enjoy a water park. You go to the regular parks Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You need a little bit of a break Wednesday. Resort. Or split your resort. Go stay at another resort, get another water park day. Go to the water park on your day off.
Oh, wow.
And then, you know what I mean? So you could get kind of creative.
That's a little
with it.
Sneaky tip, I think.
So something to think of. But we absolutely love the water parks. We love Typhoon Lagoon. They've got a great kids area. They've got family raft rides. They've got the Crush and Gusher coasters that we love so much. Yep. I would get there at opening. Regardless of if you're going to rent an umbrella or rent a beachcomber shack or something. The first reason you want to get there early is to find yourself a good spot and get some shade. There's not a lot of umbrellas. You can buy umbrellas on site that they're not huge, but they've got some like beach umbrellas you can buy that you can then set up and use. But I would get there early. The first thing I would do is secure your seats. I would put your stuff down, get comfy, and then I would head straight to Crush and Gusher.
Mm-hmm.
I would go ahead and do 2 of those.
Yes.
There's 3 different slides there. I'd do at least 2 of them. On your way out of there, hit Misadventure Falls and start to work your way around the park that way.
Yeah.
And I would focus on slides and all first. The lazy river will get busy.
Yes, it will.
It sometimes can be hard to find a tube. So I would start your day, depending on how long you're there, by focusing on the slides that you want to do first. Again, starting on the right side, Crush and Gusher, work your way counterclockwise.
Yep.
When you're done with that, go ahead and enjoy the wave pool.
Yep.
It is freaking huge. Even as packed as it was when we were there on Saturday, there was never anybody within swinging a cat distance of me, right? So that would be the time to do that. And then I would actually end your day with the lazy river as people are starting to check out, because the other people that are there at early, a lot of them are going to leave 1, 2 o'clock. There's going to be another, afternoon swarm that's going to come in, but later I think that'd be the time to check out the lazy river or just pop in and out. Again, that's what's cool about those 5 entrance points. So let's talk about refillable mugs and popcorn buckets. Are they worth it at Typhoon Lagoon? So they have their own specific quick service mug. You cannot bring the one from the resorts if you've already spent your $17.99 there, which is good for length of stay. But you can get one here. Now it's only $12.99 and it's only for the day though. These have screw-on tops and they've got this straw that comes with them that tucks back into the top. It's
Super
not 100% spill proof, but it will help keep some sand out of there. Now the difference here is that you can reactivate these by bringing them back for $8.50 for additional day. There's a couple freestyle machines throughout. There are several standard soda fountains throughout that you can use the mugs at. Do you think a refill mug is worth it? And if you do, how many do you think you need for your party?
Do you? Because I personally was fine with the kids doing it.
Yeah,
but
we got
I
one.
just drank water.
I don't think
you
it's
liked
worth
your
it.
soda, right?
Yeah. No. Well, first of all, I don't love the freestyle sodas. I don't love the mix of them because I'm doing caffeine-free diet, and then I'm usually doing like a mix of like cherry, vanilla, whatever. And there's something off. It's not the same as if you just buy it that way. Unless you're going to get there and your kid's going to want to drink 3-4 sodas while you're there, it's going to take that much to make your money back. The fact that you can bring coolers in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like you're lugging it around. I don't love to bring a cooler into one of the 4 regular theme parks.
Correct.
Because it means I've got to carry it.
Correct.
Right? So unless you have a stroller with young kids, you're carrying this dang thing around. I like taking it into the water park because you put it at your seat and you're done.
Yep.
So bring in sandwiches and snacks and sodas and waters and all of that. I think you're better off. Right now, what can you get? 2 12-packs of soda for $13 probably. So you could bring in 24 cans of soda for the same price it would be on one of these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then I agree. Because I didn't drink anything else except a couple of times yours, but I drank water.
And the
and
only
it's
reason
so
this
hot
worked,
there. You need
splitting
water.
is because it was Kaylin in town. It's boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
They're going, what do you
Husband
want to
and
drink?
wife.
Oh, I drink whatever you want to drink, sweetie. Oh, and Coke. I'll have Coke. That's what they're going to do, right? If that was Kaylin and Lacey,
oh, it'd be awful.
it'd be like, Lacey would be like, Kaylin, what do you want? I want root beer. Well, I don't want root beer. I hate root beer. In fact, if I even look at root beer, I might die. I want Sprite. So it's never going to work, right?
And then Kaylin will go,
well, I hate Sprite.
Sprite's fine.
Well, no, that's true. Kaylin would say Sprite's
Kaylin
fine.
would be like, Sprite's
poor thing
fine.
would be miserable. But, yeah, I would bring sodas in. I would not do this. They also have refillable popcorn buckets.
I would
now,
do this.
This is the same, and you can bring your ones from the parks.
Yes.
So I think you buy a popcorn bucket day one of your trip. This is $13, $2.50 refills. Right now, they've got a new bucket. They've done with the 50th. They've done with the 100th. Whatever other milestones have come and gone in the past couple years.
80, 90, 100.
So right
10.
now, and they're new. I think they're different from last year, I believe. But it's a great little bucket with a bunch of animated characters on it. Tiana's on it. So I love it.
In the park.
Yes, in the parks.
Yes.
It is not specific to a.
Not on Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah, it's on this one. It's not a Typhoon Lagoon one. It's the one you get in the parks. The one that we got is in the parks. But get it day one. Don't forget it. $2.50 refills. I think this is definitely worth it. All right, talk about our lunch because we did mobile order lunch. It was busy, so it did take quite some time.
Oh yeah.
We would have been better off going to the window and just ordering straight up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we went over to Leaning Palms. And that is right by the ice cream, which I was a little sad I didn't get my soft serve ice cream in a bucket, but that's all right. But we actually each got the pork nachos.
Pork elote nachos.
Okay. What does that mean?
Elotes are like the is corn, Mexican corn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we both got them.
So they're basically nachos with corn.
Okay.
It's really not it's nothing special.
Kaylin got fruit cup. to add on.
Mhm.
And this is roasted pork over nacho chips with the lito cheese sauce, guacamole, sour cream, roasted corn, jalapenos, and pico de gallo for $12.49.
You can ask for no jalapenos.
You can.
And then they will put jalapenos on it. They're super busy. It just...
Yeah.
And our next, honestly, spawned out of this moment, and then a moment we'll talk about later, Dreams That Soar. Our next episode will be one of our fun ones that is not meant to be mean or rude. We'll still make it positive. Will be our Disney pet peeves. And this is one of them, which is move, get out the way. Because when you go to get your mobile order, you say my order is ready.
Oh, yeah.
Until it lets you know, yes, your order is ready, just stand back. You don't need to be hovered where everybody else is trying to pick up their orders that are ready, watching the little animated burger flip while you're just standing there like nobody else in the world exists, and you're standing right by the guy handing out food. Is that mine? Is that mine's? No, it didn't even say it's ready yet. Take a step back, okay? So just, that's a lot of what was going on, but these were good. I thought they were good.
Yeah, they were. They were really good. Great, just to kind of hold us over because we had an evening planned and we were going to be eating at Three Bridges.
Yes.
So
we stayed till about 2:00. We were there, 10 to 2. 4 hours was a great time for us to be there. We left it up to the kids because Rhonda and I can go whenever we want. Again, we're going in July here, most likely. So
we're probably going to go every time we possibly stop by. Like,
probably.
I mean,
so we basically said to the kids, you let us know when you feel you've gotten our money's worth, basically.
Right. And you're ready.
We didn't really care, but when you're ready to go. And so they did some of the plunge slides. We did 3 laps, I think, around the lazy river. We did Crush and Gusher. We did Misadventure Falls. You and I think did like Keel Hall Falls in one of the tubes. They did the wave pool and they got almost up to the rope. Like they went way up there. We ate. So they were like, we're ready to go. And we went and checked into Coronado.
Yes.
We were over in Ranchos for the first time, I want to say.
For the first time in forever.
I want to say since we went with my parents and my brother and his family, and I believe that was 2017 or 18.
Woo-wee.
And while Ranchos is on the back end of the resort, and it is far from Gran Destino, El Centro, it's even far from Three Bridges. I mean, it's back there.
Oh, it really is.
We were in 7B, and we were back there.
Yes.
That area is beautiful.
Yes,
though.
It is.
It is.
And I'm glad we like to
rock work and all this cactus and all these interesting plants. One of them looked like it belonged underwater. Oh yeah, don't fall into one of the cacti.
I don't know, man.
But it's a really beautiful area back there.
Yes, it is.
And you're getting that same room, those rooms that were refurbed back in 17, 18.
And they're nice and they're larger. Yeah. It was great. We had 2 beds and then we brought our little air mattress, and that was a full air mattress, and it was perfect.
Yeah, and
it fit. We moved a few things around, but it fit pretty much like under the window, and
and
it was great.
It was so I could still walk between the bed and the air mattress on the floor and open the door and exit.
That's how much room you got.
So there really is a lot of space.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're ever wanting to do something like this, especially older kids and you want to bring friends and boyfriends or whatever, it works. So
I hope you never bring a boyfriend. Let's talk about Three Bridges. We went back to eat at one of our favorite places on property. We're like, Kaylin was so excited to be back.
She sure was. She was. It just made me like get chills, and I was loving it, and it was so cute. She was just like show and telling, like she's like, this is like my second home.
Yeah, she's like, this is where this is. This is where, like, she's like, she kind of telling them everything.
It was amazing.
Because you walk into the room, and I love this little touch. It's Welcome Stein Family, and it's got the Coronado Springs logo on the TVs, and they do this at all the resorts. And I was like, Kaylin, let me take a picture in front of it. And it's not like I had to be like smile, like she was just
grinning ear to ear. Yep.
Happy.
Yep, she was.
So she was very glad to be back. We went to Three Bridges. This is going to open. It's going to be open from 4:30 to midnight.
Mm-hmm.
It is great late dining. There are no reservations, but they do walk-up reservations and a list, a walk-up list in My Disney Experience. So 4:30, you can go ahead and try and get on that list or throughout the night. It's great because, as we've talked about in the past, Coronado has so many places to go hang out if you're waiting on your Three Bridges table.
Yes.
We got there on the early end.
Because the kids were hungry.
They were hungry. And so
I was hungry.
I was too at that point. And plus I was just excited to go to Three Bridges. So we probably went around 5:30 or so and got called. And we requested Jules, who is a newer server there, cast member, because some of our friends that weren't working said she was working.
Yeah.
And she was great. So we had Jules. But let me mention this. Okay. So since we're back on the dining plan, this is 1 credit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And AP gets a 10% discount on food, of course, not alcohol. But right now, all the way through June 26th, on a ton of sit-down restaurants, including some of the big boys, you can save 20% as an annual pass holder.
Nice.
So that is outstanding, especially when you get up to some of those, higher per person buffets and family dining. 20% can make a pretty good difference. And then Visa Disney gets a 10% discount. So what did we start with that we had to show Talon?
Oh, the
our
roasted
favorite dishes.
corn dip,
Yeah.
of course, which is roasted corn, smoked tomato aioli, parmesan, tahini, tortilla chips, and it's plant-based for $12.
Always amazing.
So good.
Always so good.
So good.
I had somebody reach out to me about the recipe and I'm still trying to find it because I had it in my email because I had it sent to me by Three Bridges.
Did you look in our...
I don't know if I printed it, but I'll check in our one drawer where we shove stuff. But
I think we... Yeah,
I got to hunt it down because there's a certain ingredient in it that you will not find in the copycat recipes that people have tried to come up with on
Really?
ketchup.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I do.
So
I was like, what are you
shockingly,
doing?
It makes some difference.
Yeah.
But it's like a tablespoon or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that. But that's basically where they're getting their smoked tomato aioli is they're creating their own using, shockingly, ketchup, paprika, some things like that. But I am trying to find that dang recipe and then I'll put it out there.
Okay.
So I have it somewhere. Along with, do you remember their dip? It wasn't a hummus. It was like that lentil dip. I've got that one.
Oh, we have that,
we
and that is
made.
good when
That
I've
stuff's
made that before.
Super duper good. Kaylin, for her meal, who eats a baked potato for a meal at Texas Roadhouse, got the guacamole.
Yes, she did.
So this is house-made guacamole, tortilla chips with tahini. This is all plant-based as well for $12. It's not table side made, but it is definitely house-made. And I don't know if it's made to order, but this guacamole is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it was really good. Fantastic.
We absolutely love this.
Yep.
We've had this in the past, and shockingly, with as much as we love Three Bridges, there was a miss during this, and so,
but not enough to do anything about, in my opinion, because everything else outshined.
Oh, by 100 times. So Talon got the poke bowl with marinated tuna. This is a basmati rice, coconut milk, lime sauce, a vegetable melee, sriracha aioli, and grilled pineapple for $23. They have a couple different poke bowls we have enjoyed in the past. Talon, who's very much a fishing type person and an outdoors man, I guess I could say.
Right.
He said that the tuna was good, but it tasted as though it could have been pre-frozen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it is. I think it might. I'm pretty sure it's fresh there, but he still really enjoyed it.
And if it's fresh, he knows enough to be like, it's not like today or something.
Right. But he did enjoy the dish.
Yep.
Ate everything. And then you got the plancha seared mahi and shrimp.
Yes.
Now, this is the basmati rice, bok choy, Thai red coconut curry sauce, mint for $26. We've had this before.
So good. I was so happy that I got it. So the only miss in it was, unfortunately, in the rice and in Talon's bowl and in my bowl, was not, I would say, 100% completely cooked. So it was a little bit crunchy in some places, but not crunchy enough where I was going to say anything, because the mahi was fantastic. The shrimp were fantastic.
That sauce.
The sauce, everything. Fantastic.
I figured it out. I figured out what happened with my bok choy that I had on the Disney Magic at Animator's Palette.
What is it?
Three Bridges is cutting off the parts that you would discard of the bok choy. And then they're sending them to the Disney Magic, because that's what I got on the boat. You got the good parts here.
It was really good.
It's super good. I will say, roll your eyes all you want. This is the best seafood dish, completely seafood dish on property that I've had.
Okay.
Not that we eat a ton of seafood dishes, like fully seafood. Again, I'll do, a lot of times scallop and all.
Yeah.
I would potentially take, actually, I can say it. I would take this over any scallop dish that I've had on Disney property.
What?
As good as they are. It'd be close. But that mahi, this is one of those where if you got somebody at your table that's like, I don't like fish. I've never had fish. I don't want fish. Let them try this mahi and it might change their mind. It is so flavorful.
Also, the only thing I would have asked for, more of the red Thai red on the side.
I bet you could get a side of that.
I'm sure.
And oh my God, I love this.
I just
the shrimp
needed a
cooked
little more.
to perfection. And
that was perfect.
Huge.
Yep.
They're so big. I was struggling. I really want a burger. Like that's maybe we make burgers tonight and we go to Publix and I really want a burger. Like I feel like I haven't had one in forever.
You've got the Blackstone too.
And so I was like fighting between getting their new signature burger.
And you did
which
not.
Is not as good as the old, but it's still very good. Or one of my favorite dishes, the pork carnitas tacos. And that's what I went with.
Yep.
So this is tomatillo salsa verde, chipotle pineapple salsa baracha. Comes with cojita cheese, pickled vegetables, black beans, and rice. And then this carnitas, this pork. And so you get, for $21, you get 3 tacos with the pork in it.
Yeah.
And then everything else is on the side
Super
for you
cool.
to assemble however you want.
Yep.
And so I do the pickled red onions on there. I put the cojita. Then I'll take each of the 3 different sauces that come with it, like the salsas, and I'll put one on each of the tacos. And then the black beans and rice. My rice was perfectly cooked.
Yeah.
And then it's topped with these black beans.
I think because of the beans, maybe.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this dish. I ate the whole thing, but it's very, very shareable.
Yeah.
It is absolutely outstanding.
Didn't you
I
get
gave Kaylin
pork?
some bites. She ate about half.
I just
she ate
started
about
to
half
say.
of a taco.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so good, and I love this. And I have gotten this to go before, and eaten the leftovers cold, and it's still been outstanding because they've had the tacos forever, but it used to be served, and it was all in. Like it had toppings, it had everything. I love the way that they've broken it down. They're basically giving you, I'll say it, a taco charcuterie board is kind of what it's like. And the board is made specifically to house all of the little containers. It's got the little, V-shaped metal holder for the tacos. I freaking love this thing. And then we were not planning on getting any dessert because Rhonda and I knew that we were going to head to Disney Springs and we wanted to get salt and straw ice cream.
We did.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Talon went ahead and ordered the coconut flan, which is passion fruit sauce, mango, and hibiscus for $11.
He saw it and he wanted flan, and I looked at him and I said, "It's really good, bud." And then he went ahead and ordered it. And then of course Jeremy was like, "Well,
Jules was walking by.
If he was getting that, why don't we just get the warm churros?"
It was kind of like a involuntary outburst.
Okay.
And I think I just said churros, and she laughed. Like the way that I said it, she laughed when I ordered it. Jules did because it was like she knew. But yeah, the flan is great. I'm a flan fan. It's fun to say and it's more fun to eat.
Yeah.
I will give you $20 right now if you can tell me what television show that is from. And who said it.
No.
What show it's from should be easy.
You're easy.
Knowing me. I'm a flan fan.
I don't know, man.
Right behind me. It is from Scrubs and Dr. Kelso said to Elliot. All right. So the churros are stupid good. These come with sugar, spiced chocolate sauce, this tequila caramel.
I just started to say, why don't we talk about the sauces? Because I feel like the last time we had these and stuff, and now...
It was the first time these sauces were new because it used to come with the chocolate sauce, and we were given the insider tip, to get a side of sweetened condensed milk to dip it in.
Yes.
And it will change your life.
Oh, it's amazing.
Your entire life. They don't have the sweetened condensed milk there anymore. So you could bring could you bring your own? Let's bring our own.
I'm sure we've talked about this.
I'm going to bring a case of it. And then I'm just going to give it to him. Look, guys, just hold on to this. You can put my name on it. I've provided a Sharpie as well. And I will have that every time. But so the chocolate sauce now it's got a kick of chili.
Well, we talked about this before, but I'm going to go ahead and preface it with, We were at this point because we both had mocktails. We all four had mocktails.
Oh, we sure did.
They were fantastic.
Yeah.
We each got there was four of us and we each got one different except me and Talon, which we got the same. So Kaylin, we all like shared our drinks to taste and they were all great and we would like them a lot. So after that, we were drinking water.
I'm sorry, I found it. I'm so sorry. I didn't have it at first. One is the hibiscus mint limonada for $5.99.
This is what I had
you
and Talon
had. This is Minute Maid Premium Lemonade, hibiscus, grenadine, mint, and soda water.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kaylin and I had the berry mint smash for $5.99. This is strawberry, blackberry, lime, mint, and soda water.
I don't think she had that. I think she had the Shirley Temple.
Oh, she did get a Shirley Temple. So I will say I liked yours better.
I did too.
Mostly for the fact that this is fresh strawberry and blackberry, which gives it a wonderful flavor, but it makes it a very kind of chunky drink.
Yeah.
But
they're meddling them and they're...
Yeah, they are, but there's still pieces of it. There's still I thought yours was an easier drink.
Yeah.
To drink. Like,
but
if that makes sense.
It's also... with it hot like that, to me, it was a little more refreshing and stuff.
It was
but going back to
good.
the sauces,
Yep.
I'm going to preface it with we were drinking before and, we were drinking alcohol drinks. So at this point, we were drinking water. So I don't know if it's, to me, like, because whatever drink I'm drinking, like when I was eating my dinner and dessert, I don't know if it messed with it.
Well, I mean, that's why they pair wines with meals.
Yes.
Or, certain beverages pair well with meals. So
maybe it didn't pair well and made the spiced chocolate sauce and the tequila disgusting the last time.
Yeah, the last time, yeah.
But this time, like I said, we were drinking water and we started eating it. And the only sauce I didn't like was the berry one, which I don't even know what kind of berry, fig, some type of something. It might have been a boysenberry
or it might have been a snozberry.
Anyways.
It was really good. Tequila
it was
caramel.
Good. It was really good. So was the spiced chocolate.
I was dipping when we were done with churros, I was dipping my spoon in it and eating it off my spoon. It was so stinking good. Maybe because I haven't drank for almost 3 months now. My body was like, tequila? Let's get some more of that.
No. Kids can eat it.
I know. I'm kidding. So one of the things we really wanted to make sure to do was see the new Dreams That Soar drone show presented by AT&T.
Yes.
Over at Disney Springs. So we were this premiered on May 24th. This is going to be nightly from 9 o'clock and 10:45 p.m. Maybe at that time, maybe at 9 o'clock, maybe it might be 9:15
or 9:30.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. But a 10-minute long drone show. We're going to talk about that. But we wanted to go to Salt and Straw because I
wanted ice cream.
Yeah. And
I wanted a waffle cone.
Yes, you did. And I will say, and looking up some, not drinking anymore and being sober, I crave sweets daily and nightly.
Really?
And ever so rightly. Like non-stop. I want sweets. So I'm trying to move away from them some because now I've put on like 15 pounds, I think, since I stopped drinking. So, which is the complete opposite of what I was told in the pamphlet. There was no pamphlet, but so anyway, so you said ice cream. I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Like I'll eat anything sweet. Let's go. So, we're going to go to Salt and Straw. They always have these really inventive seasonal flavors.
Yes, they do.
In addition to their amazing regular flavors.
Yes.
Right now, the seasonal flavors are very summertime. There's lots of lavenders and jasmines and I think like bee pollen and, and dandelion root and stuff like that. So it's a lot of like those summer type of flavors, which just wasn't really, doing anything for me, but they have stuff like sea salt with caramel ribbons. They have chocolate gooey brownie and mint chocolate chip. They have an olive oil.
Yeah.
And I will say, if you look at any of their flavors
and you're like,
and you think that sounds disgusting, go inside and ask for a flavor. Ask for a sample.
Taste. Yeah. They'll give you a taste on.
Blown away.
And you can taste any of them.
You can taste
and
anything
all
you
of
want.
them.
Yep. All of them. Cinnamon snickerdoodle. I wanted to taste, but then I got caught off guard. But anyway, so what did you go with?
So they have a salted malted chocolate chip cookie dough. I would almost say salted malted, and because I literally tasted when I was tasting. It felt like I tasted like salt, like a saltiness, which the sweet with malted actual malt balls in it.
Well, so this is made with the same malt you'd use to brew an amber ale. It includes their house-made cookie dough, and then it's got 2 types of salt. It's got thick malted fudge rounds thick malted fudge to round it all out, and it's made with Jacobson sea salt. So yeah,
it was
is real malt.
Fantastic. Yeah. And it was in a waffle cone and
that they're making right there.
Yep. And she asked if I wanted 1 scoop or 2, and I'm like thinking, as much as I would love to, I'm thinking they are going to, it is going to be this giant ice cream. And I'm like, I don't want that. And I did have churros. So let's just do 1. So I did. Was I disappointed?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No.
I only got 1 scoop. I was disappointed.
Really?
Yeah. Me and my extra 15 pounds were like, bruh, we could have used an extra scoop on yours. I got, because if it has peanut butter in it, I'm probably going to get it. So I got the peanut butter brittle caramel fudge. Now this is vegan. So our tribute to the most iconic duo of all time, chocolate and peanut butter. Creamy coconut vanilla ice cream. I did not get any hint of coconut,
Nice.
which I'm okay with. Is drizzled with a semi-sweet caramel fudge swirl, then flecked with shards of crispy, crackly brittle, studded with peanut butter. It's outstanding. It's kind of like Moose Tracks.
Good.
I love it. I love this place.
Great.
The sweet cast member. Well,
let's go back to.
Let's go back
we were
to
getting
the
in
horses, Patoot, who jumped the line in front of us.
Literally. So,
and if you're listening, you know what you did. It's like, I know what you did last summer. I know what you did this summer. It was just Saturday. It was quite rude.
We were in line, or going to get in line, and literally going around, and literally
they're roped off with the the ropes,
the black ropes, and we were going around, and literally these 2 women went under the rope. And I just kind of
directly in front of us,
where
were
I
getting
had
ready to walk in the
stop.
entrance of the line.
Right. Where I had to stop, and
you almost have to collect yourself and be like, is what I'm seeing
okay.
actually happening?
Yes. And that's exactly what I was thinking. And I'm looking at you, and then
and let me Bob Ross it. It's not like they were going under the rope 10 feet in front of, into the line. They were going where if they would have taken 2 more steps, which they couldn't because we were standing there, they could have entered the line the proper way.
Yeah.
But instead ducked under the ropes directly in front of us entering the line.
And then they were just, that put us, and again, Bob Rossing it made us stop in our tracks, was the very end of the rope line.
In our moose tracks.
And we couldn't go any further. So it wasn't like the line was way up and around. Yeah. So here I'm like what Jeremy just said, standing here being like, wait, did this really just happen? So, and I'm just like, and I'm like, okay, no. And I'm like, and I'm like, and this is where I get to the point where I'm like, I have a name attached to me, because I just wouldn't want anybody ever talking bad about us. And I started to say something nicely, but sometimes I don't know how to say things very nice.
Yeah.
And my mama taught me, if I ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So I didn't.
Is your mom Forrest Gump?
Maybe.
Sounded like.
And I just, so we're moseying, we're like, the line slowly moseying on, and then she starts talking to the man behind us and was like, what are you getting?
She split her party.
What?
And I saw it was so funny because I noticed the guy look at them as they were cutting in front of us and shake his head, and I'm thinking, this guy's with us. He's thinking, how dare you? Turns out it was the husband.
Yes.
And so he I think he was standing behind us, probably embarrassed as all get out. And he knew that you and I were looking at each other like, did that really just happen? Can you believe this lady? What the?
Yes.
And, don't worry about it. We won't worry about it. And so Karma. Yeah. If you've not heard, there's a new song about it that's out.
Yeah. So we get around, and she's
JoJo Siwa. I can't get away from her.
Okay. Well,
anybody who's listening to this can't either, because your phone just heard. So you're welcome. You're welcome for all the TikToks that are about to come your way, folks.
Okay. Well, so we were getting closer, and I don't know if the husband finally looked at her and said something, because I wasn't paying attention, but she looked at us and was like, do you want to get in front of us? And I'm like, thanks. But I wanted to be like, yeah, I should have been the whole time.
Supposed to be already, but we didn't.
We didn't.
And in
we
all
said
honesty,
thanks.
karma came back our way, didn't it?
It did. So
and I'm hoping that their ice cream gave them diarrhea.
Jeremy!
Oh, wait, I don't think that's how karma works.
No.
Is it? That's how karma works. I don't think I'm allowed to say it. It's just supposed to be out in the universe. So I might have just jinxed karma for us.
Yeah.
By putting
you
it
think?
out there. No, I'm kidding. I hope that she did not get any sort of violent bowels.
So we go in and, they wait. You have a cast member waiting to wait for another cast member. And then she's like, okay, go over to this nice cast member. So we did. And Jeremy had his new, well, I don't know if it was new, but his Be Nice to Cast Member shirt on. And she was reading his shirt and I got him a new Stitch sling bag. And he was like, the way it was, she was like, is that say Be Nice to Cast Members on your shirt? And he was like, yes, it does. And he moved the Stitch bag, and she just like, she poor, bless her soul, she held her heart and she just looked at us and was like, she just didn't have any words.
Yeah.
And
that's why we wear them.
That's why we do. And whatever happened, I know something happened. And I hope that, we did bring some light into her dark skies that day, because when we were leaving to go pay, as we of course always do and would, she went by and whispered into the checkout cast member's ear, and the nice cast member was like, you don't owe anything.
Yeah, that was super sweet.
So it was.
And the ice cream is absolutely
holy
delicious.
crap. I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
I would probably like to get the sea salt with caramel ribbons.
I want cinnamon snickerdoodle.
I would. Yes.
I
please.
This, I'll put Salt and Straw up there with Gideon's as far as a place where everybody talks about it. You got to go to this place.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best. It's the best. And you're going like, okay, is it really the best? And then you have it and you're like, oh,
It really
no,
is
they weren't
good.
lying. This
Yep.
is amazing.
Yep.
Amazing ice cream. Absolutely love it. So let's talk about Dreams That Soar, presented by AT&T. I don't want to get sued or anything. This is running May 24th through September 2nd. And this is going to be, as we said before, nightly shows at 9 p.m. and 10:45 p.m. This is on Disney Springs West Side area. So the optimal viewing area is technically going to be on the water between Cirque du Soleil down to Death Balloon, the aerophile thing. That's going to be there along the water. There's plenty of space. It's gotten less busy since we were there. It was nuts to butts and beyond when we were there.
Literally.
Insanity. Absolute insanity.
Like
We'll
people
talk a little
started
more
touching
about-
me. It was,
Yeah. Like,
I was not
this
liking
was this was a lot. Like there were people, getting there 3 and 4 hours early. We got there over an hour early and we were still 40, 50 feet from like the water's edge. And there are some trees and all. But there's a lot of room and it's not been as nuts since that opening weekend.
Okay.
I have a feeling you're going to be able to get there.
because my
I'd probably
anxiety was starting to.
Yeah, I'd still look at, 30 minutes and try and find a spot. Ideally, I would look somewhere closer between House of Blues and Haleo.
Or make a reservation and see if you can eat outside.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, Rhonda, because currently Haleo is offering a Dreams That Soar dining experience. So for $79 per person, you get this specific Dreams That Soar tasting experience, which includes 13 different tastings from their executive chef.
Is that kind of like the rapid lunch? Do you think we could get one for $80?
That is a wonderful question that I don't know the answer to.
All right. Then since you don't know the answer, we will
we will find out next time we get an opportunity. Or
because I would like to do this.
Yeah, I'll talk to one Mr. John Self because he either knows the answer or he can find it out real quick with the folks that he knows. That's a really, really good one because because
I would do this.
Yeah.
It'd be $80. It'd be $40 a person for me and you to sit down, eat wonderful food, and sit and watch the Dreams That Soar.
Yeah, because it's going to give you a specific viewing area right behind Haleo. That is for this dining experience. So
absolutely.
That's just like paying for a dessert party for, happily ever after.
And
in
it
that
might
sense.
not be. It might not be where you can get to.
I'm guessing you cannot. I don't see anything stating it so far. It is saying that they're limiting the experience to 90 minutes from the time your first order is placed to ensure that everybody has the opportunity to enjoy the experience. So as soon as you get there and place something, you got 90 minutes basically that they would like you to take up that time. But that is an option. I've also seen and read recently that there are some areas right there at House of Blues that you can go out there, you can grab yourself a drink or something, and you're going to be able to see it because this show features 800 drones.
Holy crap.
30 Disney characters. This includes a 213-foot Death Star, a 328-foot Baymax, and 321-foot Up House. The show spans a total of 524 feet, and its tallest point during Dumbo is a scene at 354 feet tall.
That's giving me chills.
Trees are not going to be a problem for you unless you're literally standing under one. This is high up. What did you think of the... Oh, also, I will say before Rhonda gives her review of it, you can see it from areas at Saratoga Springs. You are not going to be able to hear the music. They are only pumping the music into Disney's West Side.
Okay.
So anywhere else, you may be able to experience it around property. What I'm very interested, and I got to see if we have a view or not, is our Drury stay on July 4th.
Okay.
Is
That'd be
what
fun.
we'll be able to see from there because depending on the angle, it could just look like a straight line up and down, right? In some ways. So what did you think of Dreams That Soar?
Well, first, I want to get the bad part out of the way.
Let's talk about our pet peeve.
Yeah. So we're standing there, and where it is, it's where behind all the food trucks are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there is a place that I would assume is literally built so when you're eating food truck you can sit down.
Well, I mean, its sole purpose is it's a decorative retaining style wall.
Okay.
Is the best way I could describe it, right?
Okay. So by that retaining wall is a trash can, which where does Rhonda and Jeremy stand for things? By a trash can.
Mm-hmm.
So we go and we set up point at this trash can. And there's people sitting down in front of us, and that's fine. That's great. But they started when the Dreams That Soar kind of announced and it was going to start.
In 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
You know.
The adult that was sitting on the side decided to stand up on this wall that made her taller than my 6'3" husband.
It made her like 7.5 feet tall.
It made her just ridiculous.
Even Manute Bowl was behind me and he was like, come on, lady.
Exactly. So, and this was so like my anxiety started getting to me because like at one point somebody touched me. I'm like, oh my God, like get off me. I am not.
Yeah, personal space was
like,
going
yes.
down the tubes
Yes, it was.
real quick.
Yes, it was. Talon and Kaylin couldn't even get up to us, which was
Some lady
fine.
like blocked them off when they tried to move up to us.
Super sad and super just, I'm like, okay,
They stood back
this
by
was
one of the food trucks.
Yes. So they could see. So this was really great. So they could see.
Okay, this lady has now made herself 7.5 feet tall to look at a show that is in the sky.
Right.
Her standing on that makes no difference to her viewing pleasure.
No, it does not. And
it's
it
not
messes.
It's not that it technically blocked ours, but that doesn't make a difference. You don't need to do that. And as you looked around, any opportunity people had to stand on stuff, they were standing on stuff. There was a big group over to the left. There was some down to the front left. People were standing on any wall, anything they could get at. I don't know. It's in the air.
The
whole thing's in the air.
So kind of like a tree at this point. She was like a tree to me. Like I needed to like kind of look around. So Jeremy was great. And I was able to stand in front of him. And that put me in front of the children that were standing on the wall, which I was fine with because they were now my height at 5'1".
Yeah.
So with all that being said, now let's talk about it.
No, but what was amazing is the man with the children.
Oh, yeah.
picked one of them up and put him on his hip and then turned to you and politely said something along the lines of, "Is this okay? I'm not going to bother you, am I? Am I?"
He
was
ended
the
up
nicest
he
thing.
was really nice. He actually ended up saying he was going to sit through
Yes.
it.
Yep.
With the kids standing. I'm like, no, please, they're fine. And then he was great. And when he said it, I said, oh, and he also said I could stand up there with the kids. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I want people behind me to see. I did speak that a little bit louder to hope that woman, but no, it did not do anything or matter.
And again, tons of people were doing it.
Stood there.
But I don't think it's going to be an issue. I even had people I know that went in the past couple days, and it was not the madhouse that it was when we went because the exodus was rough.
Oh, it was crazy. But it is in the sky, guys. So don't think you need to do this. Yeah. Please, please, please don't. Yeah. But let's get to the good part and tell you that holy crap. This is the most amazing thing to me that I've ever seen.
It really is.
In my entire life.
I want to see it 100 more times before it goes away.
So Jeremy says, yes. So Jeremy says to me, remember Spider-Man and a movie of these drones.
Yeah. Far From Home.
I feel like a movie has come to life.
Seriously, it's not that far off.
It was incredible. And the most amazing part, because of course I can tell you it was amazing, but because I love everything Disney, the children that aren't love everything Disney anymore, and I'm going to say Talon and Kaylin, I think they were getting pushed around a little bit. The woman was rude to them. I think they were real close to being like, I'm out.
Yeah, forget this. This isn't even worth watching. Yeah.
They stood, they stayed, and after when we met back up, they said, I didn't think that this was going to be impressive, and they were blown away. It was totally
worth it. It did start about 15, 20 minutes late that night.
It did.
Which is fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, they're bringing these Disney characters to life in moving characters.
I'm like getting chills.
My brain can't wrap around how this is done. I understand it's all plugged into a computer and it's drawn up and it will blow your mind. Mm-hmm. It is so good. The soundtrack is wonderful. The characters are incredible. The colors, everything about it. I haven't heard this many oohs and ahs.
Yes, that was cool.
And clapping since the return of Happily Ever After a pandemic. Like I was
so cool.
Blown away. I'm already in my brain. I'm like, all right, if I can keep Rhonda up late enough on June 15th, Saturday night, then we're going to go back and see this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then catch it July 4th when we go. And then any other chance we can get, I'll go see it before it's done here on September 2nd.
Yep.
I'm hoping, they've done these in overseas parks. We know that they used to do this. Remember when they did the holiday one at Disney Springs years ago? That was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
I hope that this is something they can bring. And guys, this is so good. Free entertainment.
Yes.
Whether you think this shouldn't be in like Hollywood Studios, which would be a wonderful fit, or it should be inside of a park, you're not wrong, but it's not. It's at Disney Studios, at Disney Springs. You can go and watch this. It is free. Yep. It is amazing.
It is.
Catch this.
It is.
Whatever, and especially, 10:45. You don't really have an excuse other than you want to go to bed. I understand with young children. I totally get it. But do whatever you can. Even if you've closed down a park and you're like, we can make it over for the 10:45. Trust me, it is worth it.
Yeah, it is.
It's freaking awesome.
It really is.
I loved it.
Yep.
All right, we're going to finish off with Sunday morning. We headed over to Winter Summerland.
Yay.
We don't need to talk too much about it.
It's a golf course.
Yeah, we just talked about episode 666. Ooh. About Fantasia Gardens that Rhonda and I just did.
Yep.
How much are normal tickets here if you have to pay out of pocket?
So they're $19 per adult and $12 per child. And of course, that child ranges from 3 to 9. Tax is not included, and it is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it was great because being pass holders, we get it every day before 4. And actually, Kaylin's expires because of the package we bought last year for Christmas. Hers doesn't expire until this coming
December. It was December of this year. It was December 31st.
Yep. So
2024, I think.
Yeah. So we used her ticket, and then Talon's last name is Lacey, and we had a Lacey in there, so I used that ticket for him. So it was fantastic. And yeah, it was a great free round of golf. We had so much fun. It's hot. You do want to do it 10 a.m.
Yes, I agree.
It was great. We put some sunscreen on, and they got some ice cream, and then it only was about a 15-minute wait, and then we played, had fun, and then went over to Skyline Chili.
Yeah. So they have they've got 2 courses there, 2 18-hole courses. They've got a summer course and a winter course. We had played the winter course like a decade ago, and then we asked the kids and they said summer. So we did that one. The summer side is there's a lot of straight putts, but with a lot going on around them. But it's a really fun course. I mean, it ends with you like you're almost inside a house at Christmas.
Yeah, it's cool.
With the tree and Santa coming down the chimney, and there's Christmas music playing. And even though it's 100 degrees outside, it's just, there's like snow everywhere. It's so much fun. Yeah. So it's another one of those, like, I don't think next trip we'll have an opportunity to go play before we come home. Well, we might have, we'll see. But I want to do this. Like, it's one of those things we've had this included with passes for a long time, and we've never taken advantage. And now we are, so, and this is part of that add-on, the sports and water park add-on for us, that it's included. If you do a package through Main Street Magic Travel, you get those little perks, and one of those will be the mini golf, and so I highly recommend it. But
absolutely,
we're going to finish with lunch at Skyline Chili, which I know this isn't Disney, but it's located
near Disney.
Yeah, it's located in Flamingo Crossing, right there at the end of Western Way. Us being at Coronado, it's literally like right outside the back door, a couple minutes down. There's all those wonderful hotels over at Flamingo Crossing that we love. Also bookable through Main Street Magic Travel. They've built up a lot there. There's a Target there. There's like Starbucks. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Walgreens, I believe.
Walgreens, I think. There's a whole bunch of stuff over there now. And one of those being the Skyline Chili, which opened very recently.
Yes.
We found out through one of our good Disney friends that the franchisee, Daniel, who got to meet and is just the best. He's cool. Is former Disney cast member in food and beverage. Yep. And so this is what he's doing now. Go visit him and his team. They are amazing. This is open from 10:30 to 10 every day. And we had never been to one.
No, we haven't.
We have our good friend Karen, who's from Ohio, swears by Skyline Chili. I have been watching Skyline Chili on Food Network on different TV shows come up time and time again. I've always been so interested in trying it. So we finally got to. Let's talk about it. Especially want like your take, because you don't like chili.
I don't. So I was a little nervous, but they do have stuff like salads and chicken if you don't want it. But coming in, I kind of thought it was like fast food, and I'm looking what to do, and there's a sign that says please seat yourself. So it was really cool. So we literally sat down, and then a waitress came over and she brought us little oyster crackers that said Skyline Chili in bowls, individually packed.
I
did not eat any yet.
Dude,
they're oyster crackers.
No, these are seriously another level.
Okay.
I love the Saltine makes those oyster crackers now, and they're outstanding.
These are better.
Yeah, they have a certain extra density to them.
Okay,
that they're outstanding. We've got a couple packs.
I will have to try some.
Yeah.
But so we sit down. She takes her drink order, and then basically comes over and like I said, says talks about the chili, but then she says, they have chicken and salads and stuff. But I was looking through the menu, and they do have this thing called a chilito. So it's Skyline Chili and shredded cheese in a tortilla. You can add sour cream for additional charge. So it's almost kind of like it'll say like the 4-way or the whatever. It's like this, but then so this is $3.89, and I'm like, ooh. And then Jeremy's telling me about this 4-way and 3-way, and I'm like, well, I like onions in my chili, so can I do the sour cream and can I add onions? And she was like, yep, absolutely. So I was kind of looking forward to this.
How was it?
It comes out and it's little, which I was very happy about.
Yeah.
I actually really it was like addictive. Like I get it. I get it now. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. In fact, I know we'll get to talking about our evening and what we took home from it. I I would like to stop there. And I'm not a Portillo person. Like, I like it. It's fine.
Dude, Portillo's so good.
It's so good, but I wouldn't mind stopping here I could be that person, or go, let's get a couple pints to go and some cheese, and then let's make what we made.
I'm going to tell you something at the end of this.
Oh.
So Kaylin got the classic chicken wrap.
She sure did.
She's Kaylin. And you can get it. It's diced chicken breast, lettuce, tomatoes, shredded cheddar cheese, chili ranch dressing, $10.20. $10. She enjoyed it. She ate half of it and then brought the rest home, and I threw it away yesterday, I think. She didn't eat the rest of it. But I will say I had a bite. The tortilla is really good.
It's really good. So good.
I don't know what it is about it,
but
good. It's so dang good. So then I was going to go with one of the, chili on spaghetti. That's what they're known for.
Yep. Because you and Talon did this, correct?
So we both got the 4-way. So the 3-way is the spaghetti, chili, cheese. Now you can get a 4-way, which is that same thing, and then either diced onions or beans.
Okay. And you got onions.
Yeah, I got onions. And then you can get a 5-way, which would be with the onions and the beans.
Okay.
So I just was like, I'm not going to do beans. I mean, to be honest, we're already going to drive 2 hours home. We've already talked about diarrhea enough this episode, so I'm not going to bring it up again. But I'm just thinking, do I really need to add beans to this? Recipe? Probably not, but I definitely will next time.
Really?
Small is $7.59. That's what I got. Talon got a regular size, which would be like their medium, for $9.35. This is a smaller portion, is a small bowl, but it is. And then both of us got the habanero cheese. They have a special habanero cheddar cheese, right? So it comes in the small bowl, sitting on a plate. And when it first comes, you think, you just served me a bowl of cheese, because there is so much cheese on it. Anybody that loves Skyline is probably laughing because there is so much cheese on it. Like, I'm talking 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick of shredded cheese piled on top, where you can't even see what's underneath, right? But underneath it is a serving of perfectly cooked al dente spaghetti, like just straight up spaghetti. And then the chili is covering it on top. This is not the chili that
not your mama's chili.
Yeah, this is not your mama's chili. This is not chili that anybody, like, if you don't live in Ohio and know Skyline Chili, this isn't that chili. You know what I mean? It's not the chili that's real chunky, and there's tons of like chunks of tomatoes in it, invisible onions, and all these different, like more Southwestern spices and beans and other beans and third types of beans. And, some people put chunks of beef in it along with ground beef, or they put, all these different things in it. This is the thin. Here's what I will say. And this is not a knock. This is a straight up compliment. This is the Taco Bell of chili. When you think of Taco Bell meat that goes in their tacos, their beef, that's this consistency. It is very kind of soupy. It's almost a little bit watery, but it sits well on there. You have all this cheese. The cheese is some of the best cheese ever as far as shredded cheese goes.
Yeah, it really is good.
It had a ton of habanero flavor, but it didn't have the spice.
Nice.
Which I was fine with, because I like the flavor of a jalapeno, of a habanero. I don't always want it to kick my butt in spiciness, right? The chili,
it's got cinnamon in it.
You'll take a bite or two if you've never had this, and you'll be like, what the F is this? It's weird.
Yeah.
And it's almost
weird,
off-putting it
it's
first.
So good.
And then it becomes addictive.
Yep.
And you mix it all in with the spaghetti and the cheese.
I don't think I'd want the chili. I'd eat a couple of the chilitos, but I don't think I'd do spaghetti.
Dude, it's amazing. It is you're right. It's addictive. By the end of the bowl, I was like, I could eat more and more and more. Of it. Like, there's something about it that is so good. And next time I want to do a dog. I want to do a hot dog with chili and cheese on it, because they do Coney dogs and all. Yeah. So Daniel, we asked our awesome waitress, we're like, hey, is Daniel here by chance? And she's like, yeah, he's in the back office. And I was just like, a friend, a mutual friend of ours said we should say hello to him. And she's like, sure. And they were getting really busy, but he made some time to come out at the end. And we said to him, and we'd already said it to our waitress, she was like, just ask Daniel. We're like, look, we're going to our friend's memorial party after this. And she's from Ohio. We told her we're coming to Skyline and I'd bring her something for the party. Yep. What's the best thing to do? And he's like, well, we've got this Coney platter, and it's like an entire Coney thing for $79. that'll feed a bunch of people. And it comes with hot dogs and buns and chili and cheese and I think diced onions and everything, right? And I was like, that's probably too much. She's already doing burgers, dogs, everybody's bringing
Plus,
stuff.
by the time we were going to get there.
Plus, by the time we got back, it just wasn't going to be. But they do individually package it for catering. It's not like they're handing you a bunch of hot dogs made up. They're literally separating the dogs from the buns from everything for you to assemble. So I do think it would travel okay.
Oh, I think so too. I'm saying by the time we got there, it was later from when it started. It was from 12 to whatever.
Yeah.
And
we got there
like, yeah. So, I mean, if it was 12 to 6, like, we were there 4. Yeah. We were only there 2 more hours if she was kicking people out to go home. I kicked myself out because I had to work the very next day. That was completely booked solid.
Yeah.
So
we asked him, we're like, well, we think that might be too much. Like, can we just get some chili? Like, what do we do? And he's like, I know what is like a party pleaser. Everybody loves it. It's the Skyline Chili dip.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you don't mind stopping by the store, you just have to get a block of cream cheese and a bag of your favorite tortilla chips. He said, I'll sell you 2 pints of chili. And then he said, I'll give you a pint of chili and we'll do some cheese to go with it. Yep. And we were like, you know what? Just double the chili, double the cheese. So he gave us a pound of cheese, 2 pints of chili. And then
this was all 40 something.
Yeah, like $40 for that. So you get a 9x13 and you spread softened cream cheese on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You then warm up your chili. Ours was still warm.
Yeah,
2-hour drive home. It was still hot.
Yeah.
So you pour that on top. Then you cover it in the cheese. And then you bake it at 350 till the cheese is all melted. And serve it with tortilla chips.
So good. And get the scoops so you can scoop
You recommended getting the Tostitos scoops. We got the this went quick.
I know, and I kind of want that.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. I absolutely love Skyline Chili.
Let's look for Skyline Chili at Publix.
It's at Publix. That's what I was going to tell you.
Are you serious? I
almost bought some the other day when I was there with Kaylin. They sell it in the can, so I'm down for that tonight. I don't need to do burgers. I don't really feel like firing up the Blackstone and then having to clean it and do that.
So we're just going to make
I'm
Skyline
down for
Chili
Skyline
dip?
Chili dip or whatever. I am down.
We have tortillas. I can
we can
do
make Cholitos.
Yay!
We can make our own little Cholitos. So
okay.
That's what we're going to do. But highly recommend Skyline. It is something like, again, this would be one that would be so good when the way that they have that catering coney pack to pick up and take back to like Fort Wilderness if you're staying there.
That'd be fun.
Or like when we did the tree houses or you're staying in a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, like make your way off of the Disney property and check that out. It is something else we will look at doing on some trips home is maybe stopping by some outside the bubble dining establishments. We can certainly recommend Portillo's. Skyline Chili is up there. I was so super impressed, and now I'm going to eat some tonight.
Yay!
So 16 pounds where I'm headed. We actually have our keto noodles. I might do that instead of doing a Cholito.
Poor thing. Maybe we should do wall Pilates together.
I don't even know what a Pilates is. I've heard of them. What does that have to do with walls?
I don't know. But I've been seeing
it. When you sit against the wall?
Well, you do other things.
For an obscene amount of time. What else are you doing against the wall?
You lift things and move and
while you're sitting against the
wall? You lay on your back and then put your feet on the wall and do something and then there's different things
I'm gonna take a hard pass if I'm being honest.
No.
I will
do it with me.
I can observe. I can cheer you on. I am not doing any Pilates or anything
downward
like
dog.
That. Yeah, no, I'm not. In fact, I'm already thinking about ice cream, and where we could get some actual hand scooped ice cream,
Cold Stone
near us. But then they're gonna mix all the stuff in it. I want that's what I love.
You
about
can just get it.
No,
you
but
don't have to get stuff mixed in it.
I want Salt and Straw where it's made for you. They're like, here's the flavor. We're just gonna scoop it. Because Cold Stone is a lot of base flavors that you want to add stuff to. I want the stuff already in
we
it. We
bought a Reese's.
Oh, those Reese's cupcake things they have there? Oh,
no, we bought a Reese's thing at Costco.
Yeah, they had those too.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
It's in the freezer.
They're amazing. They're little frozen peanut butter cups, but they're like ice cream. I think it's peanut butter ice cream covered in chocolate. All right, y'all. I'm just hear myself gaining weight. All right, that will do it for this review. Next episode, All right, that'll do it for this review. Next episode will be the Disney pet peeves, which will probably be less silly than this one at this point, I think. I don't know what happened to this episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed listening. If you are getting ready to plan that trip, you want to see Dreams That Soar this summer, you want to take advantage of those deals. I know there's the one for 5 nights or longer, but you don't have to stay a full 5 nights. You want a weekend getaway. There are some really good deals out there. Again, we just booked July 4th at Drury. On property, you could get All-Stars right now, July 4th for $140.
Yes.
Go to mainstmagictravel.com. Fill out that form for the free quote. They can go ahead and book you anywhere in the world. Theme parks, cruises, destinations, all over this great place we call Earth. Spaceship Earth. So go ahead and hit up mainstmagictravel.com. Hit the subscribe button. Get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And of course, Rhonda and I would be super thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.